Hello, chess fans. Today we're going to talk about the upcoming World Chess Championship and make a prediction about who we think the next world champion will be. It's going to be an intense battle between Ian Nepomniachtchi and Liren. Liren is known for his solid positional play and strategic understanding of the game. He has been a consistent top player. He has shown great resilience and determination in his games, and his ability to handle pressure is commendable. In recent tournaments, he has demonstrated an exceptional skill in both classical and rapid formats. On the other hand, Ian Nepomniachtchi is known for his aggressive and dynamic style of play. He has been rising through the ranks in recent years and has been consistently performing well. His tactical prowess and ability to create complications on the board make him a formidable opponent for anyone. Both Liren and Ian Nepomniachtchi have been in great form, and it's hard to predict who will come out on top. However, if I have to make a prediction, I would say Ian Nepomniachtchi might have the edge. His recent performances and his aggressive style of play give him a strong chance of clinching the title. We'll also take a look at some of their games head-to-head during the candidates. The game opened e4. This is Ian Nepomniachtchi as white, Ding as black. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and we can see we end up with a 4 knights defense. So as we proceed through this game, we have a Scotch variation. Right here's the Scotch variation and a recapture. So as we play through these moves, we can see that neither side has quite developed an advantage yet. But on this next move here, and these next couple of moves, we can start to see that white builds that attacking advantage. So black castles, white castles, and materially, we're fairly even. However, just looking at our pawn structures, just super early in the game, but think about pawn structures even at the beginning of the game. White has 2 pawn chains, black has 3. If they enter an endgame, that means white is going to have that advantage towards the endgame. Seems really silly to talk about endgames on move 10, but that's where these structures are set. And so even as early as these first 10 moves, you can start to see that one side versus the other is going to start having some slight advantages. They might not be enough to capitalize on, it might not be enough to win, but we will see that they start to accumulate. White has an advantage already in development. White's rooks are connected. Black still has the queen and the bishop in between the rooks. So here, white is still got a little bit of an advantage, playing a little bit more accurately. As we keep proceeding through, retreating the knight to protect the pawn, and not being afraid of exchanging. Again, Ian is already thinking about the endgame in any likelihood as he looks at this double pawns. That's going to be a target. And now there's 4 pawn islands. Again, this should mean that Ian has a fighting chance with white to go for the win. Now, this game that we're looking at right now was round 8 of the candidates. And we can see they're exchanging, continuing to develop. And here we go into an endgame. Basically, we have even material. Is there one side versus the other that has a real advantage? Well, Ian's got his pawns connected a little better. His rook might be more active. It's going to be hard for either side to win, though. And as we play through, they trade off the rooks, and this ends up being a draw. Okay, so that wasn't a decisive result. Let's take a look at the last decisive game between Ian Nepomniachtchi and Liren. Ian with the black pieces. Ding opens English. We can see Ian has a very attacking style, even in these first 10 moves. Ian going for an early attack, forcing concessions in the white position. Both sides have finished developing all of their minor pieces, and we have the rooks beginning to get active in the game. Here we can see that having the white king over on h2 is going to become a liability even now. As this attack starts to unfold on this king side, we can see king on h2 is probably going to end up being a target. We also have a pawn already up for grabs on e2. Now we have the f pawn also up for grabs. White has to defend it. And still, adding more pieces. White cannot afford to take that pawn. The pawn breaks through, and we have here the best that Ding can do is capture a pawn, as Ian is going to capture the bishop, and soon after the game. Even sacrificing the rook, the king can just step out of the way, and the attack is just not enough. The king is too safe on the black side of the board. Ding is lost already here. Here, Ian has regained his sacrificed rook and is threatening mate. Ding fights on, capturing the pawn, defending the mate. And here Ding resigned. We can see that the game could have continued. King takes the bishop, queen checks, king runs to the only square available, pawn checks, and now we can really see the point of all of this, that the king just has no good squares to go to. The queen attacks, and the idea here is that the queen coming here forces the king to h4, where the queen delivers checkmate. And even sacrificing the knight, the rook, and eventually the queen is not going to change that result, which is why we had a resignation on move 32, leaving Ian Nepomniachtchi the victor, winner of the candidates match, and I believe the likely winner of the World Chess Championship. Okay, you've heard me predict that I believe Ian Nepomniachtchi is going to win the World Chess Championship. Let's take a look at what the experts have to say as they predict who is going to win the World Chess Championship. In the first round, it is believed, if we look at the odds, that we have Ian Nepomniachtchi is going to win over Ding Liren. For those of you unfamiliar with the way betting works, it is, if you were to bet $100, Ian Nepomniachtchi, you would make $300 off that bet. However, if you bet $100 and Ding won, you would make $900, meaning that Ian is the strong favorite to win the first round against Ding. We can see that it is predicted that e4 will be the first move. Other odd bets just that are interesting in here, we have who will be the player to take the first piece. Ian is expected to be the player with the first capture. Ian is the first player expected to play the first check. How many pawns will be left on the board? The odds are suggesting that 4 or less will be left on the board at the end of the game. How many queens will be left on the board when it has finished? None is the strong favorite. So you can see all of these things are very, very interesting as far as the amount of things that you can bet on as far as a game go. But I think for most of us, that we care most about is who we think will win. How do we think that's going to affect the rest of the tournament, that head-to-head match that they play? Ian is known for being a strong attacking player, but also he is known for letting his emotions kind of drive his play. And once he gets behind, it's very hard for him to feel like he can get himself caught back up. So if this prediction can be expected to be followed, which is that Ian will take the first decisive victory in the first round, that would mean a lot heading into those second, third, and then later rounds. If Ian can get that decisive result early on, not only will he have the victory across the board, but he'll also have the psychological advantage going in, knowing that he is the dominant player. And that's going to be an uphill battle for Ding to fight against. Let's not forget, Ian has been in this match before, and while he has lost it against Magnus Carlsen, Ding is not Magnus Carlsen. He is not the defending world champion. Neither of these players are the defending world champion. They both have to fight to earn that title, and the question is which one is going to be able to pull it off. I still believe Ian is going to do that. Let's take a look at what the sports bettors think for the whole match. Ian Nepomniachtchi is expected to win the tournament as a whole. Sports bettors are predicting that it'll be decided during classical chess. It's expected that the player who wins the first game will also end up being the world chess champion. As we just saw, we're predicting Ian Nepomniachtchi to be the winner of the first match, and therefore also the winner of the overall World Chess Championship. There's a lot of other interesting little side bets that one could make. Will the English Opening be played in 3 or more classical games? Looks like no is the slight favorite here. So very interesting. We have the betting world that is predicting that the World Chess Champion after this match will be Ian Nepomniachtchi. As we've seen, the World Chess Championship is up for grabs. Either player could win it, but I think Ian Nepomniachtchi has the advantage. The sports bettors agree that Ian Nepomniachtchi probably has the edge going into this first game, and once he wins that first game, will probably win the match overall. We have seen that Ian Nepomniachtchi versus Liren head-to-head has what it takes to win the game in classical standard chess. This match is going to be a tight contest. It's going to be interesting to watch, and I hope you stay with me. That's it for today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for updates on the World Chess Championship. Who do you think is going to win? Do you agree? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.